Some of you know her as cackling Kamala Harris. Some might even know her by Chameleon Kamala Harris. And others might know her simply by hot garbage. I'm talking about the VP, Kamala Harris. That's right. Today, we're gonna be counting down the top 12 reasons why VP Harris is without a shadow of a doubt the best, worst vice president ever.
Before we get to this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. 2022 has shown us what might be coming. So if you're fed up with everything being so expensive and the threat of inflation hanging over us, it's time to take action. A precious metal IRA uses tax advantage gold and silver to keep inflation at bay and give you protection from financial nightmares. And you'll get a stunning free 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin when you open a qualified IRA account this month. You know what I always say, you can't go wrong with Noble Gold. Call 877-646-5347 to find out more, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. And remember, there's always a risk of loss, and past performance is not indicative of future results.
Let's kick this party off. Number 12. VP Harris is the best at being the worst politician that we know of to sleep their way to the White House.
Harris was 29, Brown 60, and married, although according to the debunking website Snopes, he had been estranged from his wife for more than a decade. He was powerful in Bay Area politics, and the two began dating. Brown was also allegedly corrupt, his office under investigation by the FBI, and Harris eventually dumped her aging lover. Still, when she ran for district attorney in 2003, Brown put his weight behind her anyway. Harris won, but according to Politico, critics, including her opponents, were bemoaning cronyism at City Hall. Once in office, Harris threw Brown under the bus. The ambitious young politician declared her benefactor all but dead, saying, "His career is over. I will be alive and kicking for the next 40 years. I do not owe him a thing."
As we all know, elections matter. And when folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for.
Well, apparently, elections does matter, but the votes don't. Because if votes mattered and were counted, you wouldn't have your hot garbage butt in the White House right now. Number 11. She's the best at being the worst VP to plagiarize about simply wanting Sweetum. Sweetum mommy.
And she said, "Kamala, what do you want?" And I said, "Freedom."
However, observers have pointed out a remarkable similarity to a story that Martin Luther King Jr. told Playboy during the Civil Rights era. In 1965, King recounted the story to Playboy, saying, "I will never forget a moment in Birmingham when a white policeman accosted a little Negro girl, 7 or 8 years old, who was walking in a demonstration with her mother. 'What do you want?' the policeman asked her gruffly, and the little girl looked at him straight in the eye and answered, 'Feed 'em.'"
Now that's what happens when you're a fake activist, phony politician borrowing other people's stories. Number 10. VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP to embarrass themselves while pandering for black votes about smoking weed while listening to black rappers like Snoop Dogg and Tupac.
During Harris's run for executive privilege in 2019, the public's view of this stinky little weed had changed dramatically, and the then aspiring POTUS was endorsing legalization. Speaking on The Breakfast Club amid fits of laughter, she said,
It was a long time ago, but yes.
I know you have to go. They say you have to go.
I just broke loose. Definitely Snoop, Tupac, for sure.
But there's just one problem.
Well, not for sure. According to Newsweek, critics quickly pointed out that Harris graduated from Howard University in 1986, 5 years before either rapper released a debut album.
Whoopsie, you might have wanted to check out those dates before you open your pander lips. Number 9. VP Harris is the best at being the worst border czar to visit the border while not visiting the border.
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I don't understand the point that you're making.
I'm sure you don't, border czar. The only border you've been to is Taco Bell. Number 8. VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP to understand, talk about, impact, speak on behalf of, or represent the United States in the entire history of our country, or any country for that matter, on foreign relations.
It's significant that we are here together in Tokyo, in that we also share a common goal and bond as it relates to our dedication to peace and security in the Indo-Pacific, and the work that we will continue to do to ensure that we are guided by what we are joined in terms of international rules and norms around the importance of peace, security, and prosperity for the Indo-Pacific. So I look forward to our conversation, and it's good to see you.
Well, I don't, because I have no idea what you were talking about, and neither does he. But hey, let's not let words get in the way of the best, worst VP ever.
This time. Szanowna Pani Redaktor.
Is the United States willing to make a specific allocation for Ukrainian refugees? And for President Duda, I wanted to know if you think, and if you asked the United States to specifically accept more refugees.
Okay. A friend in need is a friend indeed.
Okay, so this time.
What is at stake this very moment are some of the guiding principles around the NATO alliance. We all watched the television coverage of just yesterday. That's on top of everything else that we know and don't know yet, based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but just limited to what we have seen.
Now that was deep. Doodle deep. That's how deep that was. Deep as the deepest pile of poop.
If I can ask you, Madam Vice President, President Biden has said that Americans will feel some pain for the sake of defending freedom and liberty, but there does seem to be no end game in sight. How long should Americans expect? How long should we be bracing for this really sort of historic inflation and some unprecedented gas prices?
What are you looking that way for? He's talking to you, VP.
Okay.
It's yours, yeah.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. And it is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
Whoopsie, just one problem. You're not in North Korea, you're in South Korea. And you're talking about our relationship with the North Koreans. And yet they trusted her overseas to represent our country. It really looks like the adults are back in charge.
Jamaica, one of the issues that has been presented as an issue that is economic in the way of its impact has been the pandemic. We will assist Jamaica in COVID recovery by assisting in terms of the recovery efforts in Jamaica that have been essential to, I believe, what is necessary to strengthen not only the issue of public health, but also the economy.
Is she speaking patois? Because I have no idea what she was saying, and probably the Jamaicans don't either. Number 7. VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP to give speeches like a 5th grader giving a book report that didn't prepare.
Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community. So we invested an additional $12 billion into community banks because we know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community as well as the talent and capacity of the community. So equity as a concept says, recognize that everyone has the same capacity, but in order for them to have equal opportunity to reach that capacity, well, we must pay attention to this issue of equity if we are to expect and allow people to compete on equal footing. Who doesn't love a yellow school bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right? I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies, and what is at stake at this very moment. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I am a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
That each of you is up to this challenge because you are the mayor.
Now that's 100% uncut winging it. Sounds like she's just simply narrating her own actions. I'm here right now in my studio talking into this microphone about how horrible VP Harris is. She's the best at being the worst VP of all time. That's right, speaking of time, she's about to lay a whopper on us about the passage of time.
I'm doing a tour of the library here and talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time when we think about a day in the life of our children.
Now someone go get me some dressing for that word salad. Number 6, VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP that loves to talk about work but never actually works.
Today, the business of our work is for the council to report on the work that has occurred since our last meeting across these areas. We will today also discuss the work yet ahead, the work we must still do to continue to move forward. That is especially true when it comes to the climate crisis, which is why we will work together and continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on to galvanize global action. With that, I thank you all. This is a matter of urgent priority for all of us, and I know we will work on this together.
It looks like someone needs to work on their speaking ability. And if you're wondering, yes, that was me making that sound effect, because I can't take the risk of a copyright strike. Number 5, VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP to pretend that she knows about space, but yet the only space she knows about lies right between her ears.
Space is exciting. Space, it affects us all. And it connects us all. And we agreed to advance specific rules and norms in space, international rules and norms. More specifically regarding rules and norms and international rules and norms.
You guys are gonna see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes.
Oh my goodness.
With your own eyes.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Stupid is as that stupid does. As we sat and listened to her tell a bunch of kids, you're gonna see the moon with your own eyes, as opposed to someone else's eyes. Number 4, VP Harris is the best at being the worst to talk about Venn diagrams, but probably doesn't know how to use them.
Well, let me just say, I love Venn diagrams. I really love Venn diagrams. You know, the circles, right? 3 usually. Venn diagrams, Venn diagrams, Venn diagrams. The 3 circles, Right, they're fantastic. Out, right? Just throw it into a Venn diagram. I'll tell you everything you need to know about any issue. Remember Venn diagrams, those 3 circles? Right, and then let's just see where they overlap. You will not be surprised because I have constructed a Venn diagram on this. Remember those 3 circles, how they overlap? I love Venn diagrams, so I just do. Whenever you're dealing with conflict, pull out a Venn diagram, right? And so, you know, the 3 circles. And so I asked my team, right? They're fantastic. Out right now. He sees the Venn diagram of it all. He sees that there are those circles, and maybe people seem that they're a little different. They live in different parts of the country. They may be different age or different race. But that area in the middle, that overlap. I asked my team to do a Venn diagram of where these attacks are happening. So voting rights, women's reproductive rights, LGBTQ rights. And of course, there was a huge intersection. You know, I asked my team to do a Venn diagram for me of where we are seeing attacks and who are the attacks against and the similarity. And when you look at a diagram of the just a Venn diagram?
I think she's gonna need more than a diagram to help her out. Maybe a picture book or something like that. But nonetheless, that's why she's the best at being the worst VP of all time. Number 3, VP Harris is the best at being the worst that doesn't have brain damage, Alzheimer's, or dementia to give a prepared speech, but even worse than that, a spontaneous speech.
We gotta take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Now that's pretty serious.
The importance of elections. In terms of who gets elected and what.
Translator, please.
Now, in case you didn't keep up with her sage musings there, let's just go over what she said word for word. Kamala said, well, this really does highlight the importance of elections and who will be elected in terms of who gets elected.
Well, that made no sense, but it doesn't matter when you're the best at being the worst VP ever.
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Now that's mighty unsettling, the fact that she used settled roughly 4 or 5 times in the same sentence.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
Well, there you have it. Got to get where you're going to get what you're getting and go home and get some more and go somewhere else and something else. Number 2, VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP to lie about speaking truth.
One of the most important values that I think we must fight for is to speak truth. To speak truth. We have to speak truth about it. We speak truth and we are loyal. That we speak truth.
Let's speak truth. Let's speak another truth.
Let's speak truth. We must all speak truth. So let's speak some truth. And we need to speak that truth so we can deal with it. Let's speak another truth. Let's speak truth about our economy. And let's speak the biggest truth. The biggest truth of all.
However, when it's time to speak the truth about why she's not electable, it flows right down the toilet, just like her approval ratings.
What I describe and what I believe to be the elephant in the room about my campaign.
What is that?
Electability.
What do you mean?
Electability. You know, essentially, is America ready for a woman and a woman of color to be president of the United States?
America was ready for a black man to be president of the United States.
And this conversation happened for him. There is a lack of ability or a difficulty in imagining that someone who we have never seen can do a job that has been done, 45 times by someone who is not that person.
The truth is, no one likes you, and sometimes the truth hurts. Finally, number 1, but I must warn you, if you have kids or you have a weak stomach, please don't watch this clip. Number 1, VP Harris is the best at being the worst VP whose laugh can be used as a form of torture.
Yo, maybe.
We did it, Joe. You sure did do it. You and Joe absolutely ruined this whole country. And that will do it for our top 12 reasons why VP Harris is the undisputed, without a doubt, best worst vice president of all time.
God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with big tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.